The JBS Worthington pork processing plant closed down 2 weeks ago as the coronavirus began running rampant among its workers. And their union president said it's caused many of the workers to fear coming back to work as the plant reopened Wednesday. 508 workers at JBS Worthington have tested positive for COVID-19. That's about 1 in 4. And their union president said it's caused many of the workers to fear coming back to work as the plant reopened Wednesday.
The workers I talked to today, they came in, they were scared. But when they left, they were fairly upbeat and positive about what they saw and making it through their first shift.
JBS has made safety changes, including increased disinfection. They're giving every worker, contractor, and visitor a mask to wear when they arrive. They're checking the temperature of all workers and keeping workers 6 feet apart in the factory.
As far as safety modifications go, I personally didn't see anything that they missed.
Union President Matt Utek was surprised how efficiently the company applied social distancing.
They actually have dividers up and a 6-foot work area in places that typically were maybe 2 feet of extra room.
And Utek was also surprised at the number of hogs they were on pace to process on day one, nearly 50% capacity, even with a much smaller staff. Promising news when it comes to avoiding a U.S. food shortage. Lou Raguse, KARE 11 News.
And Utek said the plant has about 1/5 of its normal workforce there today. A JBS spokesman said they expect the numbers to go back to normal as workers respond to these safety measures and those infected clear quarantine.